Yeah, let's get started.
Awesome. Let's do this. So we'll do a quick welcome. Hey, everyone. Everyone, hopefully having a great day. I'll do a quick intro. My name is Norbert, and we'll be your host today. I just recently joined Nubit, as you might have seen on social media, and so I'll be the new global growth manager. Super stoked, super excited to be joining an amazing team, and looking forward to contribute more to the Nubit team. So. A little bit more. My journey started in crypto back in early 2020s, beginning with NFTs, moving into DeFi, then GameFi, and recently I was part of an accelerator. So I've had a privilege to work with some different projects, mainly focusing on different things, but branding, marketing, and overall community building. So before that, before NFTs and before pretty much Web3 in general, I was an athlete, had a chance to compete at the Olympics and represented Hungary pretty much on the biggest stage in sport. And now I'm just super excited, super stoked to be adding more to Nubit. That's really about me. Professor Frank, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone. Good morning and good evening, depending on which time zone you're in. So welcome to the second community call. And yeah, my name is Yu, and I'm a founder at Nubit. I'm also a CS professor at the University of California, in the US. And we started Nubit, I believe, the last December, and then since then we have been growing extremely fast. So far, I believe that we have around 35 full-time employee, and then we also have another, I believe, the 20 investors and their Nubiters who is helping us to build a community. And yes, and look forward to the community call today.
Yeah, will be an exciting time. So pretty much since our last community call, that's been like 2 months ago, there's many new members joined the server, and likely some of them might be unfamiliar with Nubit yet. So want to make sure all our community members are up to date and they're informed. Would you mind providing us like a little kind of comprehensive introduction, what Nubit stands for, mission, technology, and some of the community initiatives?
Mhm, mhm. Sure. So for those of you who recently joined Nubit, let me give you a brief overview about what Nubit is about, and then what's our current status. So basically, in one sentence, you can think of Nubit as the adaptable DA layer powered by Bitcoin. So here we have three keywords, right? First, we are building a product that is relevant to DA to basically mitigate the challenges on the storage and the high transactions. And then, so unlike other similar product in which the economic security is backed by, let's say, altcoin, so the entire economic security is powered by Bitcoin and Nubit. And finally, we call ourselves adaptable. So what do I mean by adaptable is that so Nubit originally start from the Bitcoin ecosystems, and then because of our modularity as well as economic security, we recently also extend our scope from the original Bitcoin ecosystem to other popular ecosystem as well, such as Ethereum and their Tom. And so on the financial side, Nubit was has already raised around 14 millions, led by many well-known VCs in the space, such as Polychain, Delphi, etc. And then, so right now, I think I saw a lot of questions from the audience. So we are preparing our last phase of our alpha testnet campaign. And then at this point, so you might wonder, so basically, Nubit's design is actually focusing on the same level of economic security and censorship risks as Bitcoin. So basically, you can think of Nubit as a side chain that is secured by hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin miners and stakers, which is very similar to like other ecosystems. And then also Nubis modularity also allowed a broad range of applications beyond the Bitcoin ecosystems. And so that's actually relevant to the last phase of the testnet, because in the last phase of the testnet, we'll be launching quite a lot of consumer applications on top of Nubits, including the not limited to, let's say, poly markets and Telegram games and etc. And then so we will expect phase three will be a kickoff around August the 20th. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Super exciting updates. And definitely we have some questions collected at the end of it. So the community sent in some very interesting questions. But before we head in, we are in regards to phase three. And recently there's been some really interesting collaborations with some other projects. And would you mind highlighting some of those partnerships? And could you explain how it could contribute to our goals overall for Nubit?
Yeah, sure. So basically, many ecosystem applications built on Nubit will be released gradually on phase three, which will be started, as I mentioned earlier, around August 20. And we have several ongoing integrations with Tom ecosystem, which get a lot of tractions recently, including mini apps, Minpoint Launchpad, and even Tom Layer 2. So which means that once we launch those Tom Layer 2 with Nubit underneath, so there will be a lot more applications compared to where we are, because that will dramatically reduce the threshold of building consumer-based applications. And those will appear in phase three. And beside this, we also, on the traditional partnership side and the ecosystem, we have already integrated with OKX X Layer, Merlin Chain, and Mentor Network with Nubit DA underneath. And what's more, we are also working with some top tier ZK projects to deliver new pod, which will enable new use cases for our adaptable DA in both BTC, Tom, and even Solana and other ecosystem as well. And if you recall, earlier I mentioned that in addition to the core DA products, we also worked on the modular indexer. You can think of the modular indexer is to build to basically mitigate the original security concern on their BTC ecosystems. And right now, I'm very happy to announce that basically our module indexers was already now fully integrated with many mainstream wallets such as OKX Wallet, Unisat, Gate, and Tomo, etc. And basically, you can think of all major wallet in the BTC ecosystem already using the services from Nubit. And those will eventually, once we launch to the mainnets, so basically they will generate millions of API call every day. And so our eventual goal is to establish Nubit as a leader in the DA ecosystem across multiple ecosystems such as Ethereum's BTC, Tom, and whatever like consumer application that has the need for, let's say, storage costs and reduce the transaction fee. And what's more excited about is actually on the community side. So basically, thanks to everyone in the call, and there has been an extremely fast growth in the community. For instance, I believe that we start the community about 2 months ago, and then right now we have more than 420,000 community members in our Discord channels. And thanks everyone in this call, and then which make us become the largest DA communities in this world. And thank you everyone. And we also try to basically do a lot of different kind of a strategy to basically increase our community engagement. For instance, basically we introduced the OG role, and then here are some hints about how to get the role. Basically, you can dive into our community games, and basically we organize regular games such as poker, quiz, and then you can basically interact with both the community as well as the Nubit core team. And of course, there will be a lot of benefits from being the OG. For instance, you can like receive like regular like swag from our team. And then so please note that if you essentially join in our community, we might have to basically um, so yeah, so I think probably I'm a little bit running out of time for this question, so let me just skip that. Oh, I just saw Hans join the call.
Yeah.
So sorry I ran a bit late because I was doing another MA with Penta. So let me first introduce myself. I'm Feng. I'm co-founder of Nubit, and I'm a PhD student in computer science at UCSB. And yes, that's pretty much. And I'm working on Nubit right now.
Yeah, love that. Glad you made it, even a couple minutes late, but good thing is we'll transition into a Q&A session anyway. So for the next kind of 40, 45 minutes-ish, you guys will answer some of the questions the community has sent in. But before we do that, since again, we value the community and again, we wouldn't be here without you all, we are having a little kind of prizes for you all. So what we're going to do, there are three things you have to do. First one, you have to take a screenshot of the current call that you're in. You have to post it as a second step on Twitter with a hashtag Nubit and hop on back here on Discord. And we're gonna pick 5 lucky winners and we're gonna announce those winners in the next couple of days. So one more time, make sure to take a screenshot. You have about 50 minutes-ish till the end of the call to make that one happen. Post it on Twitter with a hashtag Nubit. And then hopefully you're gonna be one of the lucky winners that could win some prizes. Okay? So with that being said, let's hop into the Q&A session. We gathered some questions from our users about the project, about Nubit upcoming phrase. Hansi, since you came last, you want to answer the first question?
Sure, no problem.
Awesome. So the first question I got for you from the community is, what are the main goals and objectives of phase 3 of Nubit testnet?
Okay, so phase 3, actually we have done phase 1 and phase 2, and it's all about Nubit. And in phase 3, our goal is to actively support and promote projects that is built on Nubit. So we will introduce new applications, whole new kind of Telegram mini apps built on Nubit, and including many Feng prediction markets, or even meme coin launchpad, or even layer 2 solutions. So everything in phase 3 will be very transparent. So if you're building on Nubit, you can reach out to us. And if your project meets our standards, we can include it in phase 3. And our users will interact with your protocols and get more traffic for your own applications. And users can participate in phase 3 using testing points. So we have our testing points for the whole alpha test app, right? So this process will you can enjoy the whole interaction while earning more rewards. And we aim to organically retain this testing traffic from our alpha testnet into the future. This is why we open this phase 3, and we will gamify the experience so your points become more valuable. Yes, that's it.
Love that. No, that's super exciting. And even bigger, more important question. When is it actually going to start? When is the phase 3 gonna launch? And all of some of the tests that are required as we're heading into it.
Yes, so phase 3, we will launch phase 3 in 1 or 2 weeks. So you can expect it to be launched in next week. So it will run for about 2 months with new ecosystem applications being launched continuously. So every week you can expect new applications, new tasks in phase 3. And every application will have different ways to interact, but all will require testing points. So for now, you can participate in phase 3 by gain some initial points. You can still participate in phase 1 by follow our Twitter, join our Discord, and join our Telegram community. And you will have more opportunities to earn even more points in phase 3.
Love that. So hopefully you're hearing this call, early alpha right here. So with that being said, since it's happening pretty soon, I have a question for Professor Feng. How can users prepare for phase 3? Do we have any educational resources or guides how we can actually heading into phase 3 so we can be more up to date and hopefully maximize our participation in it?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. So because so the phase 3 will be composing a joint effort between Nubit as well as a whole bunch of upstream applications with Nubit underneath. So basically, at that point, so we will provide a comprehensive checklist regarding like basically interactions and how to use those kind of apps uh, from different ecosystem partners. And in the middle, we also trying to minimize the efforts of participating on the phase three. For instance, right now, as long as you are holding the point from our previous two alpha testnet phases, basically all you need is one of the mainstream wallets, for instance, Kepler's or Tomo or like OKX wallets, and then once you log in, it should be able to basically direct you automatically to the basically upstream application that is going to be part of the Nubit ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Kind of looking into the future, heading into phase three now, happening pretty soon. But what are the impacts and transitioning into mainnet afterwards? And what comes next, timeline-wise, and also what can our users expect more in the long term after phase three?
I think I can comment first, and then Hans can add a little bit more. So basically, a lot of you might have the question in the sense of why do we launch those kind of phase three with a whole bunch of ecosystem on top of Nubit. So just think about building Nubit as building a highway, let's say in one of the major cities in the US, right? So basically, what's the point of building this highway? So eventually you want to enable, let's say, a lot of like, surrounding developments along the highway. So you want to encourage the city to grow, and you want to encourage more people to build and settle their houses around the city. You want to enable more investors, more, let's say, collateralized entities, which means that eventually our main goal is to enable a prosperous ecosystems with Nubit underneath. So, but on the other hand, we have to admit that Rome is not built in a day, right? So basically, it's not just like the BTC ecosystem; the entire ecosystem actually suffering from lacking of actual community consumer-based application. So that's basically the major motivations of the design is Alpha Testnet Phase 3 in the sense that we hope that we can perform a relatively smooth transactions from what we will be launched on the Phase 3 as well as what the eventual mainnets of Newbie will be going, especially after we launch the mainnet.
And so basically, phase three it marks the final stage of our alpha testnet, and we aim to showcase high quality ecosystem projects built on Nubit to give users what Nubit show off like what Nubit can actually unlock. Yeah, so that's basically about phase three.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
I just want.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go
I
ahead.
just want to comment one more question quickly since this was being asked over and over again. Yeah, so eventually there will be an event schedule. So this is a very good question from the audience in the sense that you can think of the entire phase three campaign will be like how you deal with, let's say, your weekend in, let's say, at Universal Studio or like Disneyland, in the sense there will be a whole bunch of events. And though, so right now we are kind of unroll this event gradually, and so which means that before we launch the phase three, so eventually there will be an event schedule guideline to tell you about some of the important timelines. So, for instance, for which day and then which game will be, or which mini application will be launched on the Nubit testnet, and as well as what are the rules to participate and how many points you need to do that.
No, that's super insightful. So please make sure to stay up to date here on Discord and on socials, guys. We'll definitely make sure to update you guys on both platforms if anything, any updates, any news. And if you're just joining in, maybe a little bit late, you're just joining in our second community call 20 minutes in. And currently during the Q&A session, we have a little kind of giveaway, little prizes up for grabs. So let me kind of repeat it, what I said a couple minutes ago. please take a screenshot of this current call. Make sure to post it on Twitter and make sure to use hashtag Nubit. And we're going to have five lucky winners. And we're going to announce those winners in a couple of days later. So please, once again, stay up to date on socials, both on Discord and on Twitter, with every update about Nubit. And we'll finish pretty much the last 10 minutes. So if you have any other questions, we're going to have some people come on stage. Make sure to kind of save those questions for the really end, even though Professor has already answered one of them. So make sure have those questions ready, and we'll keep going because we have some really interesting other topics to cover. Hansi, you wanna take the next one, or whichever, if you're ready. This is also related to phase 3. Most of the questions we have, again, the community is buzzed, pretty much really excited about what's next. So about running nodes, pretty much, like, will be required for phase 3? And if so, what would be the rewards that we can expect?
Okay, so too long don't read. Phase 3 won't require you to run a 9 node because like phase 2 has already ended, and we can like over 1.5 million line nodes actually running our testnet, and over 1 million users have already joined our testnet. So we have recorded all your efforts in running these nodes and secure Nubit, and your contribution are valued. So we will roll out the incentives for this node runner in the like later phase. But like for now, phase 3 will include various subtasks with the interaction with our ecosystem projects. So each will offer chance to earn more points as rewards for your participation. That's the whole point of phase 3.
Yes, absolutely. So make sure to keep on running it, guys. That's why you get more rewards, and that's the whole point. We want you guys to stay active, and that also helps the whole ecosystem. Again, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to make it happen. So as we transition into phase 3, happening pretty soonish, what are some of the new features and some of the improvements that we could expect?
Yeah, so like phase 1 and phase 2 are like were centered around Nubit itself, right? So like community assemble, like you need to follow Twitter, you need to like follow join Discord, and for phase 2 you need to like run a line node, and it's all centered around Nubit. So phase 3 we shift the focus to supporting like the Nubit ecosystem. So we will allow users to experience the diverse applications that Nubit can unlock. And like like besides this subtasks, these applications, I think we are actually the first to support Feng ecosystem. So there are like already a bunch of applications Feng ecosystem on Telegram using Nubit DA, and actually we have integrated with all kinds of Feng Telegram projects such as apps, such as making a launchpad, such as like layer 2 solutions. So we are making them fully on chain. And we have made like significant like network optimizations. We basically improve the stability and like scalability compared to the previous phases. We will like increase the validated nodes, the number of validated nodes, and like gradually decentralize the whole network with our partners and community members. And also, like besides these like network features and these like application features, we are also working with the Thing on developing new ports. And this new port will enable applications on different blockchains, on various blockchains, like both like Bitcoin blockchain, both like Tom blockchains, this application to use Nubit DA. So we are working on it. We are working with the Thing, and like we will like launch our first version of this new port this month. This is basically the new features and like improvements of phase 3.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of improvements since phase 2, and once again, it's starting pretty soon. And I know again the community has grown so much since the last community call. Might be some people coming in a little bit too late and they missed out on phase 2. Professor, like, would some of the users who missed out on phase 2 will still be able to participate in this upcoming one? And if so, how will their efforts be recognized?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good questions, and I also see similar questions from the audience. So basically, so the answer is yes, because as a community, so basically we would try to keep the entire campaign as inclusive as possible. So, which means that if you happen to, let's say, mix the timelines of phase two for the Lino challenge, you will still be fine because notice that our phase one will still is still open. So which means that you just need to basically finish the initial task required by phase one, accumulate the initial point from the testnet, and then using those points as well as almost any mainstream wallets, you can basically participate on phase three campaigns and phase B campaign. As phase three, so it will be quite diverse. It's not like phase one. That's everybody need to follow like a certain routine to complete a task, or like phase two, everybody in order to, let's say, run the Lino challenge, everybody have to follow a certain step. So I would say the phase three will be more open ended as well as like creative, in the sense that you can use your point, you can engage with any kind of ecosystem, like applications that we launch with Nubit underneath. You can play games, you can make predictions on poly markets, you can even interact with AI agents, and then there's a whole bunch of like ventures waiting ahead in our phase three campaign.
I love that. Lot of exciting parts, a lot of exciting updates coming up for sure. So, well, one more question, but before we head into, let me kind of repeat it one last time, because we are kind of cutting in close-ish, and we only have like 20, 30 minutes more left. So please, please, if you're still here, we have a massive audience of 360, 370 people listening in, and we have 5 lucky winners. So make sure to kind of take a quick screenshot of this current AMA, our second community call that we're having, and post it on Twitter once again with the hashtag Nubit, and 5 lucky winners are going to get selected in a couple of days. So again, this is kind of our time for you all. Some amazing prizes up for grabs. I'm not going to mention it yet, but please, please, again, we wouldn't be here without you guys, without the community. So make sure to spread the word. And again, we appreciate you guys coming in and joining in for a second community call as well. And so transitioning to leaderboard, see some questions popping up in the chat as well. And will there be any like kind of system to track the progress of contribution of phase three? Because again, active community, like we mentioned, a lot of like nodes are running pretty much. Again, contributing a lot from the community. Would there be any way to see, who's the top three, making a competition out of it? Olympics have just ended, so everyone has that competitive spirit.
Mhm.
So would it be anything really to help our community?
Yes, I would say yes or no, in the sense that since you mentioned this Olympic as an example, basically we know that Olympics is not just about swimming, right? We have a whole bunch of other sport as well. We have football, we have basketball, volleyball, etc. So, which means that it's going to be very difficult to come up with a universal leaderboard like what we did before in phase one and phase two. That so in phase three, so it's going to be like very broad in the sense that it's just like participate in Olympics, right? You can participate in any kind of game depending on the taste of your of your personal taste, basically. However, if you once you participate in like very specific applications on top of Nubis, let's say you want to join a poly market applications, is going to engage with a whole bunch of other community member to, let's say, predict the price of Bitcoin, let's say, in the next 5 days or 5 hours. So in that case, you can see like your own performance regarding how well you are doing in terms of the activity that you have made so far, and then you can also like have a quick glance about other people who also participate in the same games.
Love that. No, that's super exciting. Hansi, you ready? You excited for phase 3?
Yeah, super excited.
Awesome. Love that. Let's open up for pretty much the open Q&A session. As we transition into that, and any attendees pretty much in the audience have any questions, please make sure to raise your hand. You can come on stage. And we have pretty much an other kind of giveaway going on. So pretty much we'll select 3 people. So make sure to have a question ready, come on stage, and 3 people gonna get randomly selected, and they all gonna get some reward as well, just like our ongoing giveaway happening with our Twitter. So raise your hand if you have a question. You can come on stage, ask Professor, ask Hans, ask me anything you might have in regards to Nubit, and we'll be happy to answer.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
Hey, yeah, all good. Shoot your question.
Yeah. So yes, so I have 2 questions for both of you. So the first one is what are the key partnership or collaborations planned for Phase 3, and how will this benefit to Nubit community? This is the first one. The second one is like, as Captain said that we will try out all the partner application built on top of the Nubit. And the phase 1 that I used one wallet, and the phase 2 I use another wallet because I cannot verify for the layout and which wallet should I use for the phase 3. So that's it.
So great questions. Let me comment each question one by one since they are kind of independent. And then if I miss anything else, Hunter and Noble can add it. And for the easy questions about your second question, I think by design, I think you can, because in order to run those kind of testnet campaign, we try to be more and more inclusive. So which means that by design, so as long as you have any mainstream wallets, let's say OPEX wallet, Kepler's, or like Gate, or right now we are working with other like wallet vendor as well. So you should be able to automatically bring your point from the previous campaign into phase 3. And if you're running into any issues, please let us know, and then our technical team will be ready anytime. And for the first question regarding partnerships in phase 3, and this is actually a very, very important problem, and also a very good great questions that we have been addressing in the past weeks, in the sense that so our goal in phase 3, as well as moving forward on the mainnet, is to basically nail down majority of the partnership in the space. By majority, I mean that in 2 aspects, in the sense that in ecosystem wise, we want to cover as many ecosystem as possible. And then right now, our main focus will still be BTC, our original the ecosystem in which we get started, as well as the second one is Tom, because which recently get a whole bunch of tractions because of their, let's say, community base due to the Telegram users. And then finally, we also actively working with some of the big partnerships in the traditional Ethereum ecosystem as well. For instance, we recently launched our big partnership with Mentor Network, which is one of the biggest L2 in the Ethereum ecosystem. Actually, Hanzi, he ran late for today's community call because of he was doing another AMA with the Mentor and other like a DA vendor as well. And then moving forward, so you will see like there will be more and more like big partnerships happenings in our space. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question. 100%. 2 more. Raise your hand and we'll get you on stage if you have any other questions.
Hello, guys. Can you
Hey,
hear
hi.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very glad to see you today. My
That's
question is
easier.
this. My question is this: if I have to explain Nubit to a non-touch person, how should I do that? Not touch, not developing person. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, that's a very good question. That's actually the I think that's I have been trying to address the same questions to my marketing team and technical team as well. Let me repeat the questions in case some of you may miss that. So basically, the questions from DAO NFT is that if I have to explain Nubit to, let's say, general audience, right? Let's say this audience
Yeah.
like they have zero like a technical background, they might not even relevant to like say Web3 or crypto. And how do we, let's say, explain Nubit's missions? um so so one way you can think of that, that's I think the same way I explain to my friends who is not in crypto about what Nubit does. So think of I think some of you might live in big city, right? Beijing and LA, New York cities, and Dubai, Singapore, or like you might also been like in big city. So you probably know that one of the biggest problems of the big city is traffic, right? There's a whole bunch of traffics, and every time, especially during the rush hour, it's going to be a nightmare for, let's say, drive into the city downtown, no matter you are in New York City or LA. So because of those kind of traffic, like the entire basically like efficiency of economic actually like gets slowed down. So you have to pay more gas fee. Sometimes you might also pay a ticket because of, let's say, dive into some rush hour. So you can think of what Nubit does. It's essentially try to mitigate these problems in blockchain, in the sense that, for instance, think about like some of the public communication systems, let's say in New York City or in LA or in Beijing. So basically, the way they mitigate this kind of like a traffic problems is to basically, instead of everybody driving their private car to, let's say, downtown, let's take the bus, right? Let's take the bus. Let's take the subway. Let's take the subway so that everybody can just like join the bus or join the subway, and then the subway and bus will put you in your, let's say, designated location. And that's exactly what Newbie has been doing. So basically, originally, let's say, in order to publish a transaction or making any like activities on the blockchain, most of them will be very expensive. So for instance, the gas fee is going to be very expensive on Bitcoin mainnet, very expensive in Ethereum, and also not cheap at Tom ecosystem as well. So which means that instead of, let's say, dumping every single transaction on those mainnet, what you can do is that we can create a blob. You can think of it as like a bus that is going to hold those kind of different transactions. And every transaction you can think of as individual passengers. And those blob, instead of like driving to the downtown of the city, you can put those blocks on the Nubit sidechain, on the Nubit sidechain. And then the Nubit sidechain is going to send a proof to the mainnet to show that, hey, I already incorporate those passenger in my bus, and then here's the proof. And because like everybody is taking public transportation, we managed to basically dramatically reduce the cost as well as efficiency, not just on the Nubit ecosystem, but the entire ecosystem who is using Nubit as their default DA solutions. I'm not sure whether this give you a slightly friendly description about what Nubit does.
And like just want to add one thing. So if we think of Nubit as a subway, as a like modern subway, and there are many subways out there, like some of them are made of stone, some of them are made of plastic, but Nubit is made of gold because we are powered by Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is digital gold.
Love that. It's a great metaphor and also an amazing addition. It's definitely standing out, making it more efficient, making it much better and much more secure. Love it. Hopefully that answered the question, Dao. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your answer. Have a nice day, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you.
Alrighty. One more. We got one more. So raise your hand. There's one more amazing question you can ask us, and we'll wrap things up after that. I'm Satoshi. Welcome on stage. How are you?
Hello guys, hello Nubit team. Okay, uh, I have one question for the phase 3. So my question is, what security measures are being taken in phase 3, and how does this contribute to the overall security of the Nubit network? For example, like certic source score or open source, something like that. Thank you.
I can give you a quick overview, and then Hans can a little bit. So this is actually a great question because so as I mentioned in our introduction, so basically before we started Nubit, we have been working in security topics in academic for myself. I have been working on the space of security for almost a decade. For instance, our group has been working on DeFi security since 2017. So, which means that as experts in the security field, we actually treat security as an extremely important metrics of at Nubit. And so the way that we ensure security is not just in phase 3 and mainnet, but like since the very beginning, is through multiple aspects. First of all, so when we implement the code, we actually perform extremely high quality control, including, let's say, unit tests, including white box and black box testing run by, let's say, some third party from member from different group. For instance, we have dev team who is responsible for implement the core functionality of the Nubit module, and then we also have an independent quality control team who is basically make sure that the entire module are being functioning correctly. And in addition to internal quality control, we also have multiple auditing firms to basically inspecting the code. For instance, we have been working with many auditors such as Fastland. I think they are one of their like brightest team in the space of blockchain security, and who I believe that they recently secured hundreds of millions of dollars like through like a hack from different attackers. And we also recently finished the audits from Salos, I believe, and Salos is actually one of the main auditors for the entire BNB chain ecosystem. And finally, recently we also actively working with Immunify, one of the biggest basically bug bounty platform, because as you probably know that security is not just one-time effort. It has to be some kind of a continuous effort, because there's always some ongoing threats coming up that you might not expect it from the very beginning. So as a result, for those issues that we might miss during our internal quality control as well as external auditing process, we also work with like a major bug bounty platform such as Immunify to basically share our open source our some of our core components, so that the entire security community can participate and then keep their eyes on any potential issues. So, Hans, do I miss anything on the security aspect?
Yeah, I think like just pretty much about security. So I think we are the team with the most auditing rounds in the Bitcoin ecosystem. So we have 2 rounds of external auditing and 1 round of internal auditing, and always top tier security researchers. So yeah, that's we value security a lot.
Yeah, great question.
Okay, yeah, so the answers means a lot to all of us, like the participant in the phase 3s. Okay, thanks again, guys, for answering my questions. See you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right. A little surprise. So whoever made it till the really end, we're more than happy to take one more question. And that 4th person is going to get a special prize again. So If you have any questions, anything really about phase 3, about what's coming next, raise your hand. And again, the fourth person gonna get a special prize as well. So glad you made it all the way here. That's some of the lucky people who managed to stick around for the 45 minutes. That's what you get. Alrighty, Angel, welcome on stage.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm so happy to come on stage. Wow. Kudos to Nubit. Okay. Jim, everybody. I actually have three questions to ask. And number one is Nubit going to have a domain name? Like, for example, angel.nubit. That's one. Then, are we going to have a wallet, or sorry, an app? Are you going to have an app for Nubit that everything about Nubit can be done on the app? Then the third question is, how are you going to bring down Nubit to favor even a common man?
Sorry, could you please repeat your last question?
Okay, how are you going to reduce Nubit to favor even a common man? Like, everybody in the community can never be the same. Now, do you have plans for, let me see, a very common man, like someone that doesn't have anything, like newbies? Maybe they're just coming to Web3 and their first project is Nubit. How are you going to make it easy for such people to embrace Nubit?
I think. So all three questions in total, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I think all of them are great questions, and also great suggestions. For the first questions, are we going to have like domain names that looks a little bit more personalized? So Hans, could you comment a little bit on this?
Yes, so we will definitely have some like application team on top of Nubit to build this like ENS domain, but for Nubit. Like you can add your personal name with .nubit behind. So that's one part. That's like one possible way of the application.
Okay, and then for the second questions regarding I think if I understand your question correctly, basically you are asking whether there is any one shop stop app from Nubit that is going to allow uh, the community member to basically incorporate all kind of functionality at Nubit. So the short answer is yes or no. Okay. So yes, in the sense that we definitely trying to build this kind of one shop stop that basically dramatically mitigates the threshold of engage with new bits as well as any testnet campaign. And no, in the sense that we are, instead of building it on our own, because like the entire Nubis philosopher is basically we want it to be a little bit more inclusive. We also want it to be modular. So which means that so we don't want to basically be the one that build the entire stack from, let's say, top down. And then the way we are doing that right now is to basically partnering with our ecosystem partners. For instance, one way that we have been working on is to partner with some of the major wallets at the Tom ecosystem. For instance, right now, I think we are partnering with Tomo, which is I believe that the first multi-chain wallet for Telegram apps. So which means that because majority of the application who is going to be on board on phase 3 will be based on Telegram mini apps. So which means in that case, even though we don't have a, let's say, a particular app built from the Nubit team, all you need is to have a Tomo wallet address. And then once you log in with your address, it will bring your previous point automatically. And then in your user interface, in addition to see your wallet balance, you will also see basically all the available applications that's relevant to Nubit's basically phase 3 campaign. I hope that will give everybody a slightly easier way to basically to participate in our incoming campaign. And the last question is that it's actually very great questions in the sense that for those people who actually joined late in the game, or for those people actually for those people who even like completely new on the entire crypto and Web3, but they happen to engage with Nubit for the first time. So what shall we do? So this is actually a great question, and that's one of the biggest mission that we have been working on, in the sense that basically we will try to dramatically mitigate the threshold or the difficulty of participate in the Nubit projects. And to do that, so basically we try to be as inclusive as well as responsive as possible. And so, which means that our details, including, let's say, we are actually trying to build a very inclusive community with not just the Nubit team. And Nubit team is actually just a small part of the entire community. We also have a whole bunch of Nubit squad, so which you can see their like a presence almost every day. And then those Nubit squad will be basically one of their core mission is basically helped us to onboard new, let's say, community member who are new to Nubit and who are even new to crypto. And then the idea is that we want to do this in a kind of produce this kind of a snowball effect, because like as a new community member, and then you happen to basically engage with the Nubit projects because of the help of our amazing Nubit squad members. So which means that in the near future, once you become a relatively, let's say, mature like community member, you will probably are also willing to help others and become the community's the Nubit squad as well. And we hope this kind of a like a transitively snowball effect can be spread across the entire community. And that's actually how we grow from the initial, let's say, 20 member to our current over 420,000 community members. But if you have any great questions, please let us know either on Telegrams or Discord channel.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kudos to Nubit team. Long live Nubits. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty. Pretty much like with that being said, that's all we got for today. There's some really amazing questions, both from the coming on stage. Thank you all for coming. Again, and cannot emphasize it enough for like amazing community support, for the unwavering support you guys are giving us for Nubit. Make sure, like Professor mentioned, if you have any questions, any concerns, either trying to reach us here on Discord or on Twitter. We have a Nubit squad, so they are here to help. We are here to help you guys on a daily basis. So make sure to use us as resources. Any questions about phase 3, anything that might be coming up, we're here. Again, we wouldn't be here without you guys. So we're always here to help, and with all the relevant information. And when we actually officially launch phase 3, we'll post it here on Discord, also on Twitter. And again, thank you so much all for coming, for both the audience and for amazing team, for Professor, also for Hans. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And with that being said, that's all we got for today. Have a great rest of your day. And till next time, everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Noble, for running the show. And thank you, every community member, for taking time to join the space. Yeah, I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.